Hi everybody, Ricky here from Candy. Ricky here from Brifford Great Danes, a faith-based Great Dane breeder. There's a lot of racket going on. I'm sorry about the background. I'm in the basement. This is one of my, I dedicated half of my yard is split in the middle for the dogs and the chickens. They have their own big area, and the basement is pretty much dedicated. My kids kind of playing here. But for the most part, this is all the dog area. So I know it's not the prettiest, but it's really nice. I absolutely love my basement. It's such a blessing because it's connected. We have stairs going up into the house, and then right here I have a door going out. And you know what? Let me show you. Let's go take a walk. All right, so this is the door going out, right? And here's my lights. So now we're in the garage, and excuse all my stuff. I have a whole nother business, so I'm trying to, I really want to dedicate the whole basement and the whole garage. There's Dutchie, and that's the garage door. I want to dedicate the whole space down here to the dogs. It's just because it's perfect, The only thing is I don't have heat down here. It doesn't get too bad, but I do want to get heat installed just for me and it'd be more comfortable for the dogs. But I'm gonna go ahead and show you how. Another thing is I'm gonna get a garage door opener because this is the way I let the dogs out. So let me show you how cool is this. It's gonna be a little bit hard to understand, but I just got this done. This is a gate that opens to my driveway. You see where I am? So this is boxed in. So they sleep in the basement, right? Some have their cages, some just have a little couch area or whatever. But they go up these, see, there you go. Thanks, Dutch. They go up these stairs and there's a gate. So let me take you. So we go up here. All right. And look at this. So this is the start of their dog run. Okay. And what's cool is this is our door. This is the side door. So I used to bring them in there, but they used to track in so much mud and mess that now I did that little fence area. So this way I could bring them right through the garage and basement, and they don't have to trek through the house unless I want to bring them, which I do. They kind of take turns. I bring some of them. So what's cool is this is our area, and it's huge. That's like, the kids, we have the pool, the deck, and then this is the dog one. And it goes all the way back. I mean, our property's like probably a couple 100 feet. It's not huge, but we're in Jersey. We're like a half hour from Manhattan, but we're in a beautiful lake area, very suburbs. So this is not the way the video was gonna go, but this is fun, So let me show you. So I'll just kind of let them be. And again, so here I am. So these are gates that open. That's like our front door area. And here we are back in the garage. And again, excuse I'm working on it. Don't yell at me. Between you and my wife, I'm working on it. We're getting things cleaned up. So I'll dedicate this whole area to the dogs. We have another room in there. When it's all done, I'll take you on a nice tour when it's nice and pretty. Okay, so come here, Dutch. So today's video is going to be about the AKC Pedigree, which is a big deal to me. Like, I'm a real pedigree nerd. Like, Bloodlines have so much to do with this whole movement for me because I just enjoy the history and the lineage of the breed. Specifically my Dutchess, right? Like, this pedigree is also Brifford's pedigree, which I'm going to show you in a minute. We'll go over it. Dutchess is Brifford's sister. She is my foundation female. If you're getting a puppy from me, we're going to be having a litter in spring, summer 2025 coming up. We did open a wait list. We have a couple deposits already. But if you're getting a litter from me, You are getting it from Duchess. She is my foundation female at the moment. And this is her pedigree, and this is also Brifford's pedigree. So this means a lot to me. There's a lot of history. There's a lot of, you know, just strategic work that goes into this, right? Like you put this male with this female together, and now you're merging these bloodlines, these histories, these different kennels, to create something new, right? So it's just fascinating to me, like that, and that's like a big part of the love of the breeding to me. And you know, and I kind of go over this with people that buy puppies from me, and a lot of them, I don't want to say don't care, but they're like, oh, okay. So like, you know, here in America, like we're taught, like I remember being a kid and hearing it's an AKC registered dog, right? So he gave it some oomph, you know, gave it like, oh, it must be better bred. It has some prestige, right? Because it's AKC, American Kennel Club registered, which is true. You know, I have a lot of respect for them. It's just awesome club. They provide so many fun things, events and agility and get-togethers and meet the breeds and, you know, all of this good stuff. And they track these bloodlines, and it's just nice to have. You know, I had this framed. I just took it out because of the glare, so I wanted to go over this with you. So, you know, if you have a Great Dane or you just have a dog and you're just watching this, and even if you're like, oh, you know, I don't care, right? As long as the dog is healthy and stuff, and, you know, we're working on that as a breeder. Behind the scenes, we're working on the health and the temperament and the structure and all of that. But again, to me specifically, this means a lot because this is history. I'm moving forward her bloodline. And how am I going to do that? Well, I'm going to do that by strategically mixing this male with Duchess, right? And we're going to create this, right? So we just did have a litter. I kept a male and a female because I'm not sure what my next move is. So I'm just going to keep them and see what I'm going to do moving forward with this bloodline. So every litter of Duchess specifically, because, you know, Brifford meant so much to me, and she is my connection to him in that bloodline. And, you know, one day in 20, 30 years, I want my son to be able to have a piece of Brifford, right? So that line will always be there because there's many ways to prolong it by, you know, you could freeze semen now. So that's a big thing. So I'll be doing that with the male puppy that I kept. So there's ways to really kind of prolong this longevity and kind of, I'm almost like creating my own bloodline here, you know, and I thank you for being a part of that, because when you get a puppy from me, not only are you getting a puppy that is loved by trained by my children, which are the best trainers, but this is a puppy that comes from a long history of, you know, really good European lineage. I'm going to show you in a moment. So not to try to sell, you know, I don't want to be selly. I don't want to be selly because, you know, I sell in my other business, and this is not a business that I told myself I wanted to do this. This is a noble act. I'll always say this is like God working through me and the dogs to get to you, right? I'm providing a service. This is a service movement for me. So I'm going to go over this. And again, it's, you know, the cool thing about the AKC pedigree is, you know, even if you don't know or care much about it, you could go ahead and look up these names, some of these names, and they're going to pop up. You know, you're going to find these, you know, with the online, you're going to find, so you may find like a relative of your dog. So that's kind of cool. You could maybe, you know, reach out, because on Facebook, I've done a lot of research and I found a lot of these breeders, even some breeders in Europe that I'm very friendly with because of this piece of paper. So it's like, you know, one thing will lead you to here, and then that thing will lead you to there. And it's just kind of cool, you know, and it's knowing where your dog came from and the history it's pretty cool. I mean, I enjoy it. So Okay, so let me start here. I'm going to try my best here. Okay. So Dutch's official name is Ria's Duchess. Okay. Okay. So, and the reason they named her, I'm going to say Ria's Duchess, is because her mom's name comes from a kennel. So that DY, I've been trying to do research. I've been trying to locate most of these kennels just to kind of reach out and learn, get some knowledge and history of the different dogs and stuff that played the part to produce Dutchess and Brifford. So DY is a kennel in Indiana. I don't have much history on them, but somebody told me they're in a town in Indiana. So Chris Ria is Dutch's mom. So this is Dutch's. The male is always going to be on top. So like the male is on top. The male is on top, okay? Female on the bottom. So this is Dutch's. This is Dutch's father, Fabio's Victor Von Dion, okay? And a lot of breeders do this, and so did I, and I'm going to explain how the name system. You can name the dog whatever you want in the AKC. As long as it's available, you could register. It's almost like a racehorse. Like you ever go to like racehorse and they have all these cool names? You know, you can name it whatever you want, but usually there's a little homage to the stud or the bloodline. So Ria's Duchess, so that's my girl Dutchess, that's Brifford's sister. This is her mom. So the kennel is DY, Chris Ria. So they probably called her Ria. So Ria's Duchess. And then the father. I know for sure because I'm friendly with the owner, the person that had this, the dad. They called him Victor. So Fabio's Victor Von Dion. Okay? So Dutchess, dad, mom. Okay? A little more info is they'll give you the color. So BL. You can see there, BL, blue. Dutchess is a Harlequin. See, it'll say female. And then HAL, so this is Harlequin, short for Harlequin. And mom, Harlequin. See that? HALQ. So now let's go over, so Grandpa. So this is a dog that I'm really, really in love with. I mean, Lean on Me Fabio. This is a kennel in Hungary. I'm very friendly with her as well. Again, the journey has taken me many places, and I am friendly with her. Her name is Timia Moore. She owns Lean on Me Kennel, very popular. These are really popular kennels. I'm going to tell you in a moment. So Lean on Me Fabio is the grandfather, and he is BL Blue. AKC. This is their DNA. Some dogs you need, there's a DNA number that they'll have. Just kind of confirming that what the dog is. I think you have to get it when they breed a lot. I forgot what the actual rules are, but they'll have their DNA on file. Okay, so that's, so the reason, again, so we'll see the connection with the names. You see Lean on Me Fabio. So they used Fabio here. Fabio's Victor Von Dion. Here's the grandma, Dion, of Island's Dream. Very popular kennel in Hungary as well. And she was a fawn. See that FN? Okay. So Dutch's grandfather, Lean on Me Fabio. Grandmother, Dion of Island's Dream. Really popular kennels. So what's cool is, if you research this, you'll find a lot of history. So if you got a puppy from me, here you go. You know, you could get, by the way, you could order this from the AKC. If you have your AKC paperwork, you could actually order. There's like 4 generation, and I think you could go way back. So I'm not going to get into all of these, but you could, for me, I love it because I love, again, the history. So you could go way back and learn a lot more about your dog. Okay. So that's on Dad's side, right? Then we'll go down here. This is more American lines, and I don't have much history on these lines. So this is DY Thunder. That's the grandfather. And DY Carry. So this is the grandmother. So interesting. So, you know, this DY keeps going with this Carrie, Caris, and then this breeder used Rhea. Carissa's Rhea. It's interesting how they play on the names, right? Like I did that as well. So the male I kept was, all the dogs I keep, if you buy a dog from me, the first word is going to be Brifford's. So somebody bought a female from me, Brifford's Lucy, or there's a Brifford's Jasper, whatever the name, it's going to start with Brifford for me. It's homage to my kennel name and to Brifford, my first Great Dane. So we named one of the males, the boy I kept is Brifford's Blue Rocky Von Fabio. Von meaning like of Fabio. And the reason is, the male, the stud that we used, was also related to Fabio. So this is called a line breeding. I'm not going to get into all of that right now, but a lot of pedigree breeders, a lot of breeders do line breedings, which is kind of breeding back to some of the bloodlines. So if the last litter we did was heavily bred on Lean On Me Fabio on this dog. So that's why we added the name, just got a little homage, you know. So this is the AKC Pedigree. So again, so Duchess, my dog, Dad, Mom, Grandpa, Grandma, Grandpa, Grandma on each side. And then, so I'll quickly go over, because these are good names, and a lot of breeders of Great Danes are going to understand these names. It's small, so I'm just going to go over it. So, great-grandfather, Esteban Margerdro. I'm not sure how to say that kennel name, but this is a really known kennel. I believe they're in Poland. And then there's Udine von Gigantic Blue, which is a very known, another, I'm going to just for a moment so you see that, really known kennels. You know, really good stuff. So more of Island's Dream. This here, and I'm actually looking into getting to use a stud from this bloodline. I'm looking into that. I went back to, and again, as a breeder, you could go back and find some of this blood, you know. So I'm in the works of possibly getting a bloodline from this dog, so of Island's Dream, to breed with Duchess on her next litter. I'm not sure, you know. Again, this is kind of the fun stuff for me, and it's very strategic because every litter with her means so much, and I'm going to be keeping a puppy from every litter of hers. So we'll see. You know, that's to be determined, but if you're interested in a pup, again, coming soon. Next heat, we're getting her ready now, and pups should be here like spring, ready to go summer 2025. So that's how it is. All right. And then it goes further back, great-great-grandfather, great-great-grandmother, right? So if your dog is AKC registered, you should get a pedigree and just have fun with it, you know, kind of research it. And another suggestion, get an embark, you know, get a DNA swab, because you'll find, I found family of hers through the embark. It'll give you some great health info. They've come a long way. For like $100-something bucks, it's just cool to have, you know, especially if you have a mixed breed, like you don't know what the dog is. I'm always like, I'm walking, when I walk the dog somewhere and I see somebody and I start talking about their mixed breed, I'm like, you got to get it. So, you know, some people don't care, but like, to me, it's just so cool to know, you know, like, because you could guess, like you'll see a mixed breed and you'll be like, oh, it's this or that. And then you do the DNA and you're like, what? You know, how is that a Chihuahua? It looks like a German Shepherd, you know? So like, it's amazing how the DNA works, you know? So again, I hope you kind of enjoyed this video. There's probably a lot more to tell you here. But for the most part, I mean, breeders are going to know a lot of this, but, you know, this is just for the person that maybe just you know, is wanting to kind of look into their dog, or if you got a dog from me, you could order this, because I actually go as far as paying for the AKC registration. A lot of breeders will just give you an AKC where you could go register. I actually prepaid in advance because I just want you to have your registration, and I want to have the history of it. It's like nice to have, you know, that every dog that leaves me is actually, it's not just potentially AKC registered, because you have to go the next step and pay for the registration. So I went ahead and did that. And I also AKC microchipped the puppies. So everything's kind of connected with the AKC. And they're good. They provide like insurance and just a lot of helpful info. So I think that's it. I think that's it. It'll give you like the birthday as well. You know, so you'll have the exact date of birth. You'll have the breeder's info there, who actually bred the name or the kennel. Okay, so God bless. Thank you. Subscribe. Follow us on social media. I mean, we're all over the place, you know, and I'm trying to put a little bit different content in different places, because certain people just like Facebook over Instagram, or some people like TikTok over YouTube, or, you know, so I'm trying to be everywhere. It's not so easy, but I want to spread my love of this breed and my my just love of people, and bringing everything together here. You know, it's like God, family, dogs. This is what it's all about for me, and I appreciate all of you. So God bless. Thank you.